Okay, here's where I'm at now. That's what it looks like. I've got the pieces cut the way I wanted to. They're stained. I don't really like the looks of this bottom one, the way it came out, but it'll do. Top one looks nicer. Color's fine with me, the way the color matches with the original guitar. Here's the top piece, not glued in. Here's those bracing. Now, that's really overkill. It's not going to do anything. Matter of fact, it may even hurt the sound, but I'm not too worried about it. And you can see I've got the back there. Back is temporarily put in there, and eventually I'll get these glued in. And it's not going to be high gloss. I'm going to leave it like that. Okay, now here's one problem I ran into. Not really a problem, I guess, but let's say these two are going to be the volume and tone for the mag pickup. Three-way selector switch for the piezo and the mag. Here's the 2R Tech. One's the vintage 2 booster and one's the QDD2. Now I keep on saying QDD3. I think it's QDD2 distortion little unit. And then this was supposed to be the three-way switch between these two, so you can select either this one, or both. Well, I found out I really didn't need to do that. They each have a bypass, so all I had to do is bypass one, then you'd only be using the other, vice versa. So now I've got this open hole here where I don't need the three-way switch for that. And I wanted to come up with some kind of this. I didn't want to just cover it over or plug it up or put a decal on there or anything like that. So I decided to go ahead and leave the three-way switch in there. What I'm going to do is this three-way switch will select between the original piezo rod type of pickup, and then I think underneath here, right under the bridge, I'll put a just one of these cheap piezo discs under there, which will be under here. Then run a wire down here, so now you'll be able to select. I'll be able to select between the original rod piezo, the disc piezo, or both. So that's the only solution I could come up with. I thought about trying to put another pickup in here, but that's just not going to work. I'd have to do a lot more routing, and I really don't feel like doing that. And then finding a pickup that's that size and not overshot. And okay, that's where I'm at there. These pieces are not in, obviously. So set them over here so they don't get all scratched up. Or scratched up too soon. Eventually they'll start getting scratched up, but that's the life of a guitar. Okay, let's flip this over and see what the back looks like. It's about the best I can get it. And I've got it temporarily installed there. And that's how it looks like. A little bit higher gloss than the front panels. Splotchy looking, but still the color tone is pretty close to the original. Only got temporarily screwed in. These are the little brass screws. And right here, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. They kind of stick out. I may have to go ahead out there with a drill press and kind of widen that out so the head of the screw will kind of be inset, not sticking out. These are fine, obviously, up here. The ones that'll go here, they'll work just fine. Still haven't got my little jack pushed back in. I kind of scarred it up taking it out, but I'm not, once again, not too worried about it. And then that's where I'm at so far, and I think I'll live with it. It's not the perfect finished job, but like I say, this is really for me taking when I'm away from the house where I can practice and do some recording. And next update should be starting out. Of course, I'll have to make my little a plate, cover plate for the mag pickup. Is going to be made out of some of the leftover cedar that I have, and it'll be polished up to stained, or really it's not even stained, it's a stain and a poly coat all in one. I really don't like doing it that way. I'd rather do stain and then, well, that's stain, poly mixture, and then after it dried I went ahead and put the, it's not the flooring polyurethane I used, it's just hand, called wipe-on poly that I use on those. Took a lot of coats. Okay, and I think that's where I stand now. It won't be long, I'll be starting to do the electronics. Matter of fact, I'd come over here and show some of those. Of course, it's dark over here. I've got my wiring diagrams kind of set up to where what I'm going to use. I'm really not, I don't like doing the wiring. I'm not comfortable with it. I've only had one problem once with all the different pickup changes I've done in other guitars, but it's just not my favorite thing to do. Okay, here are some of them, the controls I'm going to be using. Come over here where there's some light. Okay, the three-way switches. Now, these are little tops for them. Are just little necklace type of things. You get out of the old Walmart. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them. I'm just temporarily. And they already got the little holes in them, and they kind of screw in. I'm not sure if I'll use that. I've also got these other ones that I've kind of cut up. I'm thinking about maybe using these instead. Little disc or wood things that I've kind of made up in the shed. I mean, they came out of the same package as these other ones were Walmart things. But the thing about this camera, you know, there's no way to focus it when you get in close. Closer I get in, the worse it looks. So, okay, here's the vintage tube booster, Arctic vintage tube booster, and of course it's got the, you pull it out, pull it in, and you can adjust it. Then of course the QDD2 5 settings, so those two will go into there. The volume controls, these came off of a thin line Strat control plate, so I'll just be using those for the volume and tone controls. I'm going to replace the cap there. I've got another cap I bought. And then, let's see, I guess that's where we're at. I kind of dread getting to the part where I'm going to have to start soldering. And I may replace this little cheap string tee with a roller tee. And it's on this side with the skinnier strings. I might even put one over here, get a double one. And this big string seem to be. And I still have yet to cut out the piezo control unit. That's coming up next. That'll be one of the next projects. As you can see where the head of that screw kind of sticks out. Or maybe you can't, I don't know. And I think that's it for this update. On to the next.